Good evening. It's Friday, August 5th, 2022. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I'm RisenLadyHeathen. Hey, asshole. What separates our show from other Millennial news podcasts?
Can we accept the fact that this French physicist needs to get tased one time for his funny photo?
It was funny.
It was.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking.
Did you see what he posted in a...
You can talk about this later.
Okay.
We have a boomer and a Gen Zer, and not just any boomer and Gen Zer. We have Mr. BoomerRex himself,
Thank God it's Friday.
and my spawn Sleet.
Finally, somebody did something stupid, but not my generation.
Yep.
Asshole and Mr. Rex eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and Sleet and I are learning. That's 4 unique perspectives we share along with the facts from our literal round table. Yeah, it's been, again, pretty slow. Nothing super exciting going on. So let's dig right into our headlines. Guard cat. What's going on
While
here?
we're doing that, do we want to turn the fan off?
We haven't previously.
You haven't? Okay.
Yeah, usually we leave it on.
Oh, all right. So a Mississippi man says his pet cat prevented a robbery at his home, and he credits the calico cat with possibly saving his life. It's a bandit, right? I'm talking 20-pound cat, right? That's a pretty substantial
Yeah,
cat.
that's not a small cat. That's a Maine Coon.
That cat'll mess you up.
Or a ragdoll cat. Those get about the same size.
So anyway, she lives with her retired owner, Fred Everett, in the Tupelo suburb of Belden. So anyway, the attempted robbery occurred sometime between 2:30 and 3 a.m. on the 25th of July. And he was awakened by bandits' meows in the kitchen. Then she raced into the bedroom, jumped on the bed, and started to pull the comforter off him. Started clawing at his arms. He said, she never does anything like this, right? And so when he sat up, she ran back in the kitchen. So he followed her in the kitchen. And there were 2 guys, one of them with a pistol and the other one with a crowbar, trying to get into his kitchen. So he went back to get his gun, and by the time he got back, they were gone. But way to go, kitty cat.
Mm-hmm.
I expect that kitty cat's eating better than it used to.
Yeah, seriously, that cat deserves a reward. For
Mhm.
sure, these. All the lovin's and treats. Oh, that cat should learn how to talk. Bad guy, outside.
I keep seeing these little snippets of videos
Random.
with people who have gotten talking boards for their various animals.
Yes,
Don't get it started.
that's my
And-
favorite.
They're good.
I don't know whether they're real.
Only the ones that are actually enrolled are worth watching and paying attention to.
Okay.
Risen can direct you.
Yes,
Okay.
there's one particular one that asshole looked up, and the cat's name is on the scientific research list.
Okay. And we know gray parrots can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, parrots are stupid smart.
Yeah. So,
Well, more like they're easy to teach.
gray parrots know what they're saying.
Yes.
So, anyway, and put together full sentences made up of words they know, but have never heard the sentence before.
Yeah, the same shithead scientists who babble on about how animals can't feel pain and 12 other things
Yeah.
that are demonstrably wrong.
Ridiculous.
Tend to get lost in the syntax isn't right. Oh, fucking course not. They're not communicating with a peer. This isn't.
That's right.
a
They're
team
talking down
developed
to you.
sport. They're making a noise that makes their monkey's paw do a thing. Like,
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
No,
arms
they've got
through
you
the
pretty good
keyhole.
trained.
Yeah, the one I've been watching recently has been having a thing about when her mom makes noises in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
She'll go to her little talk pad and be like, noise. All done.
Yeah, that's the interesting one. Is where the level 2 part of a language where you're misusing words, but your usage is technically correct,
Yeah.
and that
And communicates.
yeah.
Yeah. No, like the gorilla naming its kitten tailless kitten, all ball,
Yeah.
which is a perfect description of the kitten. So anyway,
All right.
definitely language use.
Oh, this'll be fun. Good old Alex Jones.
Oh
Talked
yeah,
about him
you
a couple
gotta.
times
Oh
tonight,
yeah, the ceiling's just falling in on him. So anyway, Texas, the day after, a Texas jury awarded $4.1 million to the parents of a Sandy Hook fatality. In the second day, they awarded $45.2 million in punitive damages. So a little bit might actually wake Jones up. Well, this is one of 3 pending lawsuits, one of which is in Connecticut, which is far more friendly to lawsuits than Texas.
Oh, yes. They're
So-
far more friendly to plaintiffs, and on top of it, a lot of people are going to be looking at this as this happened in my backyard, motherfucker.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be
No,
up in arms about this, so I think Connecticut's going to go way worse. The weird thing about this case with Alex Jones in Texas is that there's been a lot of dispute about how much. So I'm not sure if it's up to the judge's discretion and can override the statute or whatever that
Yeah.
keeps it down, because there's some dispute over whether it's double the economic damages and then an extra $750,000, or
But
if
this
it's
is
tapped.
wildly outside that
Or if
guideline,
it-
and I think
if it-
for a reason. I think
if
this
it-
is a legitimate award.
If it's tapped completely at 750,000, we don't
Here's
know.
hoping legitimate award matters.
Yep.
Otherwise, Texas, you've got the government that the bosses could buy.
Yeah. So hope your kids don't get killed in grade school, and hope that Alex Jones doesn't tell lies about them over and over and over.
And continues to this day to
Oh, yeah.
tell lies because, there's definitely dead kids now. It was definitely the FBI. You're still lying about it, you fucking idiot. You learned nothing. You learned absolutely nothing.
Nope.
Shut the fuck up.
I think
hate you.
Alex Jones may qualify as America's ultimate fucktard. So, anyway,
No, I
so
don't
now
think
he's gonna.
I know he's stupid, but I don't think he deserves recognition for his stupidity. He's
Right.
that
He can't be America's
He's
biggest
the
fucktard.
entropy-soaked skeleton of Rush Limbaugh.
Oh God, yes. All right. So anyway, now of course he's going to grovel and ask for more donations and so forth and so on. And so I'm reading, and somebody says, $50 million that's a lot. He's going to sell a huge amount of Brain Force Plus. And I'm thinking that's a stock, right? So no,
Nope.
it's not.
That's one of his actual products.
So I start Googling Brain Force Plus, and then it turns out BuzzFeed News bought a bunch of them. They went to an independent lab called LabDoor. It's a San Francisco-based lab. It tests dietary supplements. And they took a whole bunch of his stuff to this lab.
Oh.
So,
What happened?
well, no, there's some, for him, there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is typically it contained what it said it contained. It didn't contain any illegal stimulants or anything like that. It didn't contain heavy metal residue. That's a problem with the way some of this stuff is processed. On the other hand, typically the dosages that were in the pills were substantially below what anybody had ever recommended as a therapeutic dose.
Yeah.
And even at that, it was wildly overpriced. But you got to hear some of the names,
Hey, at
okay?
least it's underdosed.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
rather
that's true.
him
I'd rather
underdose
under
than
than
overdose.
Yeah.
people.
I know too many idiots who just take fistfuls of whatever it is. I'm like, it's your liver, fuck off.
So here we go. Here are some of the names of his supplements. Super male vitality.
Yep.
Super female vitality.
Yep.
Anthroplex. Survival Shield X2. Joint Formula. My personal favorite, Caveman True Paleo Formula.
Yep.
Lung Cleanse, DNA Force, Brain Force Plus.
Go for Bitcoin or blockchain.
I don't think he knows what Bitcoin is.
Well, I don't
does.
know either, but
Somebody
the word
gave him
blockchain will,
Yeah.
at one point would have increased your numbers by 20%.
Yeah. And finally, Silver Bullet Colloidal.
Oh, yeah, they're always into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the colloidal
Do
silver.
not drink colloidal silver, you idiots, you'll turn blue.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Don't drink any metals unless you're told it's good to do so.
No. Even if you're told it's good to do so,
Get a second
metals
opinion
are
from
not.
a doctor.
Yeah, like go to a real fucking doctor.
That's
Don't.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Unless a doctor explicitly says it's good to do so for your
I agree.
specific situation. Do
I'm not a reverend
drink
doctor. I know it's tricky. It's got the word doctor in it. And you're dumb, but
No, like a medical, like for real
Yeah.
professional. And I wouldn't just if one medical doctor told me to go take like heavy metals of any kind, I'd be like, I'm gonna go ask somebody else.
Yeah,
You
a real
know?
doctor.
Like,
All
can I
right.
get a second opinion on that?
Got you now, fuck in a box.
Yeah, seriously.
Yep.
Jesus.
What you got?
All right, there should be consequences. We got a couple things under here.
So we've got a guy named Kiernan Major, right, who was telling his friends he was doing top secret assignments for the CIA and had can't miss real estate investment opportunities that led to big paydays.
CIA, known real estate mogul.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so he invited his friends to invest in a string of businesses, which turned out to be shams.
Who would have thought?
So he duped two young women out of $125,000 before the
money.
FBI arrested him.
That must have been cute.
So
Only.
So
There
he
should
was,
be
he was a
consequences.
fake
Oh, for sure.
CIA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. There's a whole bunch of those. Like,
Yeah,
so
lock
many
him
people
up,
come in
fuck
and go,
him up.
Yeah, like here's the fake evidence. We're totally gonna like double your investment.
Yeah.
Give me some money, and then they disappear and you never see them again.
Yeah, don't.
The
Or
part
if they're
where they fuck up
successful.
Or when they get
You
caught
can't con
before they go
honest
to the next
people.
mark.
if they're successful, they run a Ponzi scheme.
Yep.
Where you pay off your early investors with the money your later investors just put in. And when you get caught doing that, you've been real big time. You know, like Bernie Madoff.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
I think you're best off just avoiding getting caught as a whole, skim a few people here and there, jump the country to another country, repeat the process, make sure they
Problem
get
is
How
that
about
kid's too
don't
big enough.
scam people?
you have to know when to
Start
grab
there.
stakes and run.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when you can't meet your, you've been telling them 20% return and you've been paying them a 20% return with other people's money. And when you can't keep that going, you grab all the cash and beat feet.
Yeah,
disappear.
Yeah.
Don't con people.
for sure. But you also can't con honest people for the most part. So don't be dishonest, the monkeys.
Yeah, if you'll notice, a lot of those Nigerian scams, the basis is that you're going to present yourself as a false inheritor for some huge amount of money and so forth, right? So you feel like you're getting over on the system. Much more like if you feel that way, you are much more likely to be bagged by one of these guys.
Yep.
So the next one up, GOP Representative Andy Biggs of Arizona was booed at the CPAC summit.
Oh no.
Well, for not doing more to release the January 6th armed insurrectionists. He was on a panel titled The Rise of the American Gulag. Oh, that's right. And what's his name was saying, well, the FBI was like, it was like Nuremberg officers. And say, yeah, that's exactly what we did the last time we had fucking Nazis to put in prison.
Yep.
So, anyway.
Jesus.
I know.
But he got cheers when he promised to open an investigation into the January 6th Select Committee if the GOP takes the House. And he's inviting Straka. Remember him? He's the one who squealed on all the right-wingies. Yeah, right. And he can go and talk about how much pain he suffered in the D.C. jail. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Please,
Oh,
dear
shucks.
God, vote Democrat, people. This is not okay.
Well, and I'm sorry, if the Democrats flub this one up, then we get to watch them be investigated, which
Yeah.
will actually be amusing. So,
Yeah,
get
it'll
on
be
the stick,
amusing right up
Democrats.
until they take away all of our freedoms. That'll be very funny.
Eh,
Right up until they
So-
overturn the Constitution.
you have to
Until they start
remember,
knocking on the door to arrest us all because free speech doesn't exist anymore.
oh, we can change our format. We can go hardcore. Yeah.
then on the weekend.
Lock them all up. All them Democrats.
Yeah, they're bad.
Yeah. I was born in
All right, you
Mobile.
two are gonna have fun with that show because I refuse to be a part of it.
I don't know. I'd absolutely buy into their nonsense. That lets you move about their system. Their system is so dumb.
Yeah.
That's
we should
fine.
remember.
I'm not saying in public I wouldn't, whatever. But I'm saying I would not be a part of a show that pushes the fucking thing. No.
Oh, I'd give them the most dumb, dead-headed arguments. It'd be fabulous.
So anyway, you have to remember who Biggs is. Ali Alexander, one of the organizers of the January 6th Stop the Steal events, identified Biggs as one of the 3 congressmen who came up with the plan to intimidate Congress into overturning the 2020 presidential election. The 3 were Biggs, Mo Brooks, and Paul Gosar. So, hey.
Yeah.
So, now you know why he's up on the stage at CPAC. You know, along with that Hungarian Nazi,
Orbán.
what's his name? Orbán, right. So, anyway, just great.
There. All right, let's move on to just fuck him. We got a couple things under this headline tonight as well.
Oh, I love this one. 2 Iowans who were criminally charged in the January 6th armed insurrection against the United States are arguing in court that they acted in self-defense and are the victims of selective prosecution. Yes, I'm sure they were defending themselves from those rioting police officers. Oh, God. Anyway, Deborah Sandoval and her son Salvador Sandoval are charged with entering and remaining in restricted building, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. In addition, Salvador is charged with obstruction of official proceedings, civil disorder, and multiple counts of assaulting federal law enforcement officers. So, anyway, they're planning this argument that they were acting in self-defense. So, anyway,
Yeah,
the prosecutors had a good laugh when they
That's
talked to
kinda
the
cool.
judge.
Yeah, I defended myself from the homeowner who pulled a gun on me.
Yeah.
Did that ever fly in court? No? Then shut the fuck up about self-defense when you're on government property being attacked by government agents for being on government property.
Yeah, but they told you not to be.
They
Right.
told-
And actually, the attacks were going the other way.
Yeah,
The government agents were retreating and trying to hold the line. So,
Yep.
what the hell?
it's true.
Gotta love it. And then the second one, and again, just fuck them. So a man was sentenced Thursday to more than 3 years in federal prison for sending threatening emails to Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Good.
Thomas Patrick Connolly, 56, was sentenced in U.S. District Court in Maryland to 37 months in federal penitentiary. Anyway, so he sent a number of threatening notes to Fauci. So I'm glad to see that, you know, there's a segment of the rethug community that seems to believe they can just make threats and not have anything happen to them.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad to see shit happening to them. So,
Yeah, no, because a lot of people do this type of thing with no, and they never get in trouble for it. They send
Yeah.
threatening letters online. They say horrible things in emails and text
Freedom
messages.
of speech doesn't cover hate speech or threats against other people's
Correct.
Right,
lives.
but people,
and we're suddenly realizing that this is now a big deal and we're prosecuting some.
yeah,
Yep.
So-
people are nowadays. The right wing is pushing the misunderstanding of how far freedom of speech goes.
No, they want to hurt people. They're not kidding. They're not joking. This is not free speech. They're telling you what they want to do to you. They are violent, disgusting people.
Yep.
Yep.
But egged on by their leadership.
Yeah.
The entire thing is they want more freedom, and they're wording it like that so they can justify to themselves using those freedoms to oppress.
This is the hangover
That
of
is
the
their
90s,
intent.
having not done the militia movement when it first reared its ugly fucking head.
Yeah.
All right, Boomer Rex is about damn time. Tell me the good news.
So, Department of Justice has charged 4 former and current Louisville police officers with federal crimes in connection with the fatal raid on Breonna Taylor's apartment in 2020.
Good.
Ex-detectives Joshua James and Brett Hankison and current officers Kyle Meady and Kelly Goodlett face charges that include civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction. The action caps a federal investigation that looked at how the police obtained the search warrant for Taylor's apartment, something prior state investigators, now this is Kentucky, So you never actually had a chance that they were going to do a legitimate investigation. But the Kentucky Attorney General never pursued the question of how the hell did they get a search warrant for the wrong apartment.
Right.
So turns out they lied. So that's part of the charges against them. Way to go. Just fuck them.
That's usually how they do.
Yeah.
How many?
Didn't even check to see if they had the guy they wanted.
Yeah.
How many friggin' doors do they bang in? No knock warrants a year? It's insane. And it's dangerous for everyone involved.
A couple of years back, there was a SWAT raid on a house, and they raided the entire wrong house and killed one of its residents.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the
No, the
wrong
whole idea of no knock raids is idiotic.
Yep. No, that's what happened with Breonna Taylor.
Wait till they
She
go
got
to
murdered.
wait till they go to Walmart.
There was a whole bunch of shit.
Take them in the parking lot.
No, there's plenty of ways to do this safely and whatever, and no
In the one
knock
place they can't
warrants
resist. Yeah.
are what. First of all, it's dangerous for the people that you're no knock warranting, and second of all, it's dangerous for the cops.
We're doing-
Unless the people they're no knock warranting are actually dangerous people, in which case the cops bust the door, jump inside, find themselves in a vestibule with claymores on the wall.
Yep.
Either way, it's dangerous.
Yeah. No, and it flies in the face of everything they talk about of trying to minimize the danger to their guys. They put it on the
Oh,
line
yeah.
every day. No, it's
Here's
some
the thing.
fucking cowboy shit.
Yeah.
I understand a lot of people
And
think, oh, but what if they're
incredibly
going to
stupid.
destroy evidence? Then you need to take another approach to apprehending them if they are a threat of destroying evidence.
Yeah.
You should not just rush into their home. There have been far sneakier ways of doing this.
Yeah.
The entire thing that happened with Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yep.
When that place was taken down. Yeah, they
Yep.
did a good op. They caught him while he was in a public library with his laptop open because they knew they needed him to have already unlocked it.
Yep.
They got him distracted and they went in, grabbed the laptop, ran out, and they used that to prosecute him and put him in jail.
Yep. No, when I was very young, so 7, 8 years old, our next door neighbor was a revenuer, right? Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. And their approach, and revenuers were dangerous goddamn people.
Yeah.
They would shoot you stone the fuck dead.
Yeah.
But what they would do is they knew who the revenuers were, and they would surveil their properties until they figured out where the still was. And then they would wait until the still operator had gone to town for some reason, because stills don't need to be attended. And they would go into the building where the still was operating, and they would observe the still operating, take samples for identification, and sign their signatures and dates in obscure places like on the bottom of drawers and so forth, so that when they arrested him, and they could arrest him in town, and they knew where the still was, and they'd been there and seen it operating, and they knew who was running it. And it was no muss, no fuss, no bother, and he never had an opportunity to resist. So,
We need a lot more creative, case-specific approaches for actually dangerous people. No-knock raids just make it infinitely more dangerous for everyone involved, period.
And again,
Anyone who wants to
we
think
need
otherwise
to
doesn't
we
know
need
anything
to
about
have
it.
some sort of a triple checking thing in place to make sure we're not knocking on the wrong fucking people's doors.
Yep.
Google doesn't always know where the house is. You need to be able to read addresses and numbers of houses and apartments. Come on, people.
They can't recruit the military the kids they need.
Mhm.
They need someone who's more than happy to dress up and look like a homeless person for the day.
yeah, and sit
Or
on the
whatever
curb.
is invisible there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? An Amazon nitwit. I don't know. Pick
Yeah.
a thing. Be an Uber car.
Or actually just slip a random person there $50 to do something.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, police. You got a shit hard job and you keep doing dumb shit that makes it harder.
Well, and if you're gonna raid a joint, you should at least know the general layout before you go in.
All right. Dumbass of the day. Who wins the crown?
Alex Jones' lawyers win the crown today. So he's now been slapped with a $49.3 million verdict for lying about the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre. His attorneys turned over 2.3 gigabytes of data from his phone, which they're now trying desperately to claw back. And so they went to the judge today demanding that the judge force the plaintiffs to return the data. And the judge said, I'm not standing between you and Congress, right? This is not my job, and I'm not going to do this. And that was Maya Guerrera Gamble, who refused to get in the middle of this. So now the January 6th committee is going to get 2.3 gigabytes of data from Alex Jones' phone.
I think she actually said, I assumed this was already turned over to the cops and the January 6th committee.
So, which would suggest she had looked at some of it.
I don't think that she, first of all, because of the way it all played out, that lawyer has total control over this information now.
Yep.
Alex Jones's lawyer fucked up, and I don't think he realized how hard until he got thrown in his face. But no, that information is all going to go to the cops. It's all going to go to the January 6th committee, and fuck them. Sucks to be you, Alex Jones.
With any luck, it'll be on the internet soon.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's certainly how I would deal with it.
It's a
Put it
good
on the
thing.
internet and they'll find the good shit.
It's a good thing you didn't go in there and lie.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where it's incompetence on such a level. I'm kind of deep down hoping this was his attorney fucking up purposefully.
I hope so too.
Like, I really hope this was him going, man,
That would
I
be-
really don't like my
it'd be
client,
better
but I need to
than
make it look like a
I've seen some jokes about how his lawyer is actually the deep state and he's deep undercover, and
Yeah.
Alex Jones and is like, you
Well, now
oops,
tell you
I
what.
accidentally said that. That's sad.
That was one expensive goddamn lawyer, $49.3 million. But anyway, that 2.3 gigabytes of information includes every text Jones sent in the past 2 years, including what are described as intimate messages to Roger Stone. What do you think?
That'd be
an
fucking
intimate
Is he sexting?
I don't know. It's the description is intimate messages to Roger Stone.
Oh, I'm sure it's just detailed personal messages. is
Didn't
what-
Roger Stone, was I talking about? Yeah, Roger.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they both into the gay frogs thing?
I
Like,
don't know, but
Yeah,
Roger
we're
Stone
going to
had
find
a
out.
Interesting lifestyle.
So,
Was one of the things that made him vaguely interesting before, you know. The fucking soul fell out one side of the game.
fair.
yeah.
All right. Once again, fuck you, Alex Jones. Republicans begin adjusting to a fierce abortion backlash.
Yeah, Kansas really woke them the fuck up
Yeah.
and scared them. So now the ones who were talking about airtight abortion laws with no exceptions for nothing are now talking about how, well, you know, the people should decide about the exceptions and so on. Hey, we've got recordings of them talking about it the right way, and we're going to play those back every 20 minutes on the television sets in their home district
Yep.
for
And if
2
we
months before. And if we don't, we're
The
fools.
Democrats are dumb enough they deserve the charges that'll come.
Yeah. And as again, I will enjoy watching the members of the January 6th committee
Yeah.
be investigated. That should be amusing. So
especially if it ends up backfiring and making them more legitimate.
it won't. They'll find things to ask about.
Yep.
Again, as Asshole pointed out, the annual rate of return on the investments of Congress averages 25% a year. That's horseshit. So anyway, there are all kinds of sweetheart deals in there. Oh yeah. Anyway, so but we're not going to let them back off. They said this shit, then now they're going to eat it.
Yep.
And they can deny it all they want, and that just make their base matter, right?
Yeah.
So
No, they had a thing they could have dripped into their bloodstream and gotten extra push for off-cycle elections
yeah.
because they know no one comes out for those.
Yeah.
But
Now they've given us a cause.
Mhm.
So come on, Democrats, do some stuff for working folks, right? Round up the pro-choice folks, make sure they get to the polls, and let's stomp them in 2022 and then really hurt them in 2024.
Minimum wage, abortion, healthcare.
yep.
Those are your 3 points. Do nothing but talk about those 3 things. End of
We all
discussion.
know that they're just gonna keep talking about guns until they're blue in the face.
I certainly hope not. Talking about guns is a great way to not get elected, Democrats. So,
No, you know, you've got all the
It's a great
silly
way
ones.
to come off as a jackass who doesn't know anything about what they're talking
Well,
about.
you have to understand that the people who give many Democrats money are allergic to the idea of working folks being paid a living wage, right? Because it means that they don't get as big a pile. The kleptogarchs are out to make everybody a peasant again.
Yeah, that's the entire point of the top 1% existing as a concept at this point. Especially considering.
Well, it's the
they
top
own
tenth of a
so much
percent,
more.
but yes.
all right. Faux news lying again.
Oh, this is great. So here's Fox News, right? All the predictions for the job creation were low. They were in the sort of 250,000 jobs created in the last month. And so you've got Media Matters. Eric Kleefeld points out that Fox News business Larry Kudlow, Trump advisor Kevin Hassett had both predicted jobs numbers would come in right low at about 250,000. And the Biden White House said the numbers might be disappointing. So anyway, last month, the U.S. created 528,000 jobs, so about double what was expected.
Yep.
And Fox News' headlines this with White House misses forecast, as did all of their guys, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So again, it's just standard Fox News, manipulate the headline, babble a lot,
Loud for every
wave your
single-
arms, yeah.
Acknowledge weird things, they can twist things to be negative. Unless it fits their purview.
Well, you have to understand that most Fox viewers never get past the headline.
Yep.
Right? They
They
don't
don't have the time for it.
they don't have the comprehension to
They
get
don't
the
have
rest of the
attention
story.
span.
Yeah, that's pretty
So.
much it.
Anyway,
Well, and you're not supposed to. You consume it by listening, and you pay attention to the handful that you've actually got some background in, and the rest just washes over.
right on in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, again, we have studies now that say you can de-Trumpify people by having them watch as much CNN as Fox News. They don't even have to give up Fox News.
Yeah, that I found amazing.
I thought that was shocking. But again, the point is that when CNN presents a story, you can understand what the story was meant to say, whereas Fox, more than half the time, is, they're trying to fiddle the story so it's bad for America, because that's Fox's goal,
Yep.
is to wreck America.
The best way to keep people looking is for negativity. It's the most attractive thing when it comes to entertainment nowadays.
Yep.
When people are scared and the news is not talking about scary things, it
Yeah. Well-
doesn't match up with what they're feeling, so they stick to the stuff that matches
Yeah,
what they're
that's what
feeling.
Tiki's always said. Stay inside, watch me.
Yeah.
All
It's scary out there.
Yeah, true. 250K up in smoke.
Yeah, so Colorado has completed its recount. And you remember that Colorado County clerk who's up on felony charges?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the results didn't change. Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters picked up 13 more votes.
Oh, good.
Her opposition, who won, picked up 13 more votes. And the guy who finished third picked up 11 more votes.
Well, hell yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, $250,000. Just burn it right there in the shower.
Well, that's
Or, $19,230.
right.
Yep. So anyway, she filed a lawsuit on Wednesday saying the state's county clerks, saying that the recount was not conducted in accord with state law, and the lawsuit claims that the accuracy of randomly selected machines used to count ballots should have been verified with a hand count before the... Anyway.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Anything to make it seem like she may or may not have lost. Even
Yep.
though she did. It's concrete. She lost.
So anyway,
Twice.
the state has responded with a statement that the lawsuit is meritless. The allegations in the lawsuit are based on debunked conspiracy theories that have been rejected by judges all across the country in previous cases. The recount is over. It was conducted under Colorado election law and rule. Done. So,
Good.
no, you lost, bitch.
Yeah. STFU.
Yeah.
All right. Updates with Boomer Rex health threats.
So, in health threats, we're going back to polio. New York says, based on what they're finding in the wastewater and so forth, they say they have a few people they know are infected, and it is likely that hundreds more are already infected.
And don't realize
So
it.
they're going to have a little polio outbreak there north of New York City.
Didn't they have one? So didn't we talk the other day? They had one
Yep.
a while ago.
They had a measles outbreak
Oh, was it
in
measles?
2019. Yeah, because they're not vaccinated. So, anyway, aw shucks. God, you don't believe the science? You know, I'm sorry. It's a Darwin Award. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
I don't think you can give the Darwin Award to an entire community.
Oh, sure you can. Well, a few at a time. And the others are, Darwin participation trophies.
Okay.
I think they should all get Darwin Award participation trophies.
Yeah.
At least, yeah. All right. Anything else under here? Or are we moving on to
We're
climate weirding?
moving on to climate weirding.
Climate weirding it is.
So the French government has now set up a crisis team to tackle their historic drought. This is the worst drought they have had in recorded history. Has left more than 100 municipalities without drinking water. So trucks are taking water to those areas. There's nothing left in the pipes. Prime Minister's office said France's worst recorded drought water use is being restricted in 93 regions, and those dry conditions are expected to continue for at least the next 2 months. So, meanwhile, the state energy company, EDF, has had to reduce the output of its reactors because there wasn't enough water in the river to cool the reactors.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, well, you have to turn the power down. So,
Yar.
Yeah, in this regards, it's depressing to think about how this is going to affect other parts of Europe.
this is wonderful. This may get Europe's fucking attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually might even get ours. I see that the Rio Grande is dry in Albuquerque.
Yep.
That's not good. They're out trying to save the fish. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, let's be honest, nobody here in America is actually going to end up caring about it because all of this is just, it's just the weather we're used to or whatever. That's what they're going to claim.
Yeah. Well, they can continue to claim that for a dozen more years, perhaps.
Nope. I don't think they'll be able to claim it for another 5 before it starts becoming a popular.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think that I would argue that I don't care what any of y'all say. Who was it? Kansas had 2 back-to-back 1,000-year storms.
Kentucky.
One of the K ones.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm bad at this.
It's not square.
Yeah.
That's the only way it could be.
Oh,
worse.
it's funny. We were talking earlier. I read a thing or watched a thing about one of the I states, and my brain was like, Illinois. I don't remember. Idaho, something.
Indiana.
Yeah. My brain couldn't remember which one.
Oh, God.
No offense to all y'all. I just am not that great with the remembering of the things. All right, so
I don't believe what I'm about to say, but it's clever enough I want to say it, which is, you know why they call them flyover states? Because there's no fucking reason on earth to land there. So, anyway.
Not a lot of reason to go to any of the places.
yeah, if you don't live there, like, what do you do? All right. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heart, follow, review, smash that like button on YouTube. Go to BoomerRexTonight, no spaces on Facebook for fun memes and a link to our Patreon. Give us $1. You can find us on YouTube as BoomerRex or check your favorite podcasting service for BoomerRexTonight. We can be found on over a dozen different platforms, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts. Hit us up on Twitter at BoomerRexTonight. And if you Google BoomerRexTonight, no spaces, all the links will lead you to us. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We love y'all, and we'll see you back here on Monday for just the news on Boomer Rex tonight.
Good night, Internet.
Good night, all.